Welcome to Mars.
Non-black people using the N-word. I know that's a big topic of yours. Being in the barbershop with you for all those years,
Oh,
we love bringing
man.
that up every now and then and getting the whole room's opinion on it. So you're one of the strong believers that if you're not black, you shouldn't say the N-word. Is this correct?
Due to the times I was raised in, correct.
Right. How's your stance on that? Because has it changed over the years, or are you still?
I mean, shit, just don't address me like that if you're not black.
Oh, okay. So you've loosened up your stance a little bit.
Because, I mean, it's in everything, every song, everybody's saying it. I can't just be out here being mad because people using the word that I'm effectively using myself. And, you know what I
Right.
mean? So, I kind of probably done rubbed off on some people and had them use it. I mean, people, the environments of where I was raised at are very diverse now in different ethnicities. So
So what
I'm
made
not.
you change your stance on it? Because I remember if somebody was in the damn room and used it, you you would stop, turn off the TVs, lower the
Because you know
music.
what changed?
What?
Because it takes hella energy to focus in on everybody that's using that word when it's so common now. If you're not directly using it towards me, I still have some friends that aren't black that use that word, and sometimes I'll let it roll off my back. Sometimes I'll say something about it. Sometimes, but it's just about the times that we're in now. So
So because you felt like you were fighting a battle by yourself, low key.
yeah, it's definitely a battle fought
Yeah.
alone. It's not a lot of black guys out here that's like, hey man, don't use that word with me. It's
Right.
pretty much, everybody is
So if all the black people that you know were down to unify and say, "Hey, man, we're not letting this fly no more. Let's take a stance," you'd be with that. But you just don't want to be the angry person, always bringing shit up that nobody else is fighting for.
facts.
Okay. Now, what about the music? Do you still listen to non-black people that use it in their music?
Very rarely.
Very rarely. Okay.
Uh, and it's not even about using that word. It's about just like, bro, I wasn't raised with you, bro. It's
You
not.
weren't
It's
you?
not so. It's not so much as a term of endearment. That shit was a living and a lifestyle and a survival it's just like certain tones even come with that word. Certain ways you say it, certain ways you move with it. Like I wasn't raised with a lot of these people, so when they say it, they might be saying it as an alternative endearment, but I might take it a totally different way depending on the frequency it's coming out your mouth.
So, in your opinion, when you're black, also, you get the pass, or you assume they get it. They understand the pain that you guys went through. But if they're not black, you're like, I don't really know if they understand what they're getting away with here right now. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I would think that a lot of black people have a lot of things in common versus a
Right.
Hispanic and a black person, or
Yeah.
but you can be fooled nowadays. A lot of black people now are in different situations where their parents live hard and now their lives are easy and they haven't had to live and grow up in that type of environment to even use that word or know when to use that word. So
Or experience the pain that came from it.
exactly. So it's a give or take. And then when you're out in public and people are using that word and you want to say something but they're not talking to you,
Hmm.
they're just having a regular conversation that you would have if you was black. It's a common word
Right.
now,
Right.
so mind your business.
So you just subscribe to the mind your business after all these years.
Mind your business,
I
man.
cannot let the Mars radio viewers know enough how much growth, maybe not even growth, because who's to say if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but how much change you've went through over the years. So, I mean, that's pretty significant and crazy to see you change so much. But hey, I guess it happens to everybody, huh?
Yeah, man, you got to you got to grow up sometimes. You
I'm
can't
I'm to a point in my life where I think I need to just pick my battles. Sounds like that's what you're saying.
basically you got to know when to pick your battles. Some battles are to be fought because it's still a war out here. So
For
some
sure.
battles are to be fought. Some battles are to just let go and just being a black person and growing up where I grew up at in the area that I grew up in the times that I grew up in. I mean, you should have some tough skin by now.
Right.
A lot of things should just roll off your back if it's not directed towards you.
I agree with the tough skin, but I do not think that you should have to take something that offends you just because it's the norm. You should be able to speak up if that really offends you.
Oh,
But if it's something to where you've grown and you're like you don't get offended, you're understanding it more because society is. I understand that as well. But if it's something that you definitely have a strong stance on, I'm with the fuck it. If you're the only one that feels that way, still speak your mind.
and I'm not like on the if I can't beat them, join them tip.
Right,
Like
right.
if it's directed towards me
Mm-hmm.
or I feel somebody's is really out of pocket using it
Yeah,
derogatory towards somebody else and you don't really know, yeah, I'll definitely say something,
right,
you know, but you know what I mean, to just do that all the time is like you the nigga Superman.
right. Do you feel like there's any difference in or that it matters either way more or less if it's the A at the end or the ER or you think it's still both is the same to
Nah,
you like
don't put that ER on there. You still can get your ass out.
oh so the ER is worse.
Yeah,
The ER will get you back into that.
real quick.
Got it. With me, I think obviously the ER is unacceptable, but with me, because sometimes I will say something. I will. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Sometimes I will say something to a
Motherfuckers be
Mexican,
letting you get away with that shit.
to a Mexican.
Okay.
I'll tell a Mexican like, "Hey, bro, aren't you Mexican?" And they'll be like, "Yeah." I'd be like, "Why don't you say some Mexican shit?" I'm just saying, have a little bit of pride about yourself. I'll go at it a different way. I'll try and make them feel bad. You know what I mean? Like,
It's like black people can make anything look good.
mm-hmm. Yeah,
They can just. We came up with a derogatory word. We changed it to an A instead of an ER, which probably damn near has the same meaning to all white people
right.
in America, and we just say it and wear it a different way,
I think it's.
and it's just like it's
I
not
agree.
enduring.
Black people did that. They did, but I think it's more of where you went back to it, and you were saying it's. I look at it from a poverty standpoint. When you're poor or in poverty, you work with what you got, and whatever you got, you make that shit look good. Like
Right.
menudo, that's one of our most famous dishes of food as a Mexican, and that shit is made from the shit nobody else wanted. You know what I mean? Cow tongue and hominy, and it's a fucking soup, really.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But it's like a delicacy nowadays. So I definitely feel like when you're broke, when you're poor, when you don't have a lot of resources, you use the resources you have, make that shit cool. You know what I mean? The same with the gear, food, wearing your hat, your clothes, oversized, undersized, whatever.
Right.
Yeah. But as far as the N word, to me, it matters the intent. You know what I mean? Like if you're saying ER with bad intent, it's all bad. But if you're saying the A with bad intent, it's the same as the ER to me. You know what I mean?
And
If you're
the
saying
word
it,
is just the same. It's just
yeah.
who's using it. And you know, we base a lot of things on race.
Mm-hmm.
So I was raised in a racist household, I can say that. Because you know, you got to understand my grandparents was old people and they lived in the 1920s and in the 1910s and they lived through that type of stuff. So, you know, certain things are taught in your household, and then when you come home and you new school and you using that word,
right,
sagging your pants, your grandma telling you, hey, that ain't how stuff's supposed to be. You like, I'll do what I want to do. So it's the same thing that these kids are doing now. You know what I mean? It's just that the whole world has that vibe.
Yeah. And when you have an older generation that is influencing you, their beliefs are going to be foreign to you, but they're still going to rub off on you.
Right.
So the older person that went through that traumatization of having to deal with racism themselves, being told no darks allowed, no colored allowed, there's separate bathrooms, you can't use this faucet, all that matters because when they come home, they're going to air that frustration to those kids. And then they're going to grow up, like you said,
Right.
being influenced by it.
Being culturally diverse in my youth did a lot for me because I got to see a bunch of different cultures my whole life.
Yeah.
But just in our neighborhood, we only really had black people saying nigga. I
Right.
just haven't got used to everybody saying it, and I probably will never be used to everybody saying it.
Right.
But it's just like I can mind my business too.
Right. I feel you. All right. Well, that pretty much wraps it up right there, my dude.
Yes, sir.
It's
Thank you for
Mars
having me,
Radio,
man.
Mr. Picasso, and we out.